Caveman Combine podcast. Steve.
Yes.
You have joined us.
I have.
The Caveman Combine podcast.
It's my first podcast ever.
Really?
Yeah, I've never done one.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Comedian?
Yeah.
First podcast?
A guy of my caliber, you think he probably would have done more, but no.
Oh,
this is
absolutely.
the
Yeah,
first
but
one.
he's old school comedian. Like he's like old school stand up. He doesn't do this new age social media stuff. He's like put me in a bar with smoke around my head.
The snowflakes
and let me-
today couldn't handle my comedy
Yeah,
from the 90s.
that makes sense.
I love it.
The 90s.
It doesn't fit the, was it DI?
Were you born yet
Why?
in the 90s? Were you guys born yet?
No, I was
86?
5 years ago.
38 or 9. I'm not really
You're 38? I got holes in underwear older than that.
Hey, question though. Did you ever do stand up? Like
I did stand
You
up.
did stand
For
up.
several years, I did stand up.
Where
in
at?
clubs.
I
In Sacramento.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I did some in
Yeah.
Washington State.
State Patrol to stand up. That's
Yeah, I did a few things
That's it.
between there, but
yeah, of course.
yeah.
That's epic.
Yeah.
Stand up is hard.
It's one of the hardest things to do.
People
like
don't
if you listen
understand
to
that.
pros talk, they'll Hollywood people. Oh, comedy's the hardest because somebody sings a song or plays the piano. People sit quietly until they're done and then they applaud.
Right.
Stand up, if they're sitting quietly for 15 or 20 seconds at any point, you failed.
Immediate
So
feedback.
you have to constantly be getting
I think it's
positive
like
feedback.
the number one fear of everyone is
Public
death.
speaking.
Being naked in front of
And
a
then
crowd.
right after that is public speaking.
And then right after that is wearing holes in your shirt and pants like
Yeah.
Caleb has
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
I've conquered it.
Some people have
I've
no
conquered
shame.
the third fear.
Yeah.
Hey, but on a serious note, like I feel like part of stand up too is like, and again, way harder than this, but if you're doing a podcast, there's like lag time, right?
Right.
But if you go to do like a short, you have to fit all this information inside of a small amount of time, and that's
yeah.
kind of like.
And you better be able to hold
And
their
you better
attention.
Yeah, and it's got to be bam, bam, bam. You can't miss a.
Oh, but
beat,
it's so
right?
funny when you do.
It's
Yeah.
like.
And I did
I'll
only
just go
clean.
through
I
those
did only
shorts.
clean comedy, so you could,
Yeah.
the dirty stuff you can get a cheap, quick
That's
laugh. But when you're doing it all clean, it's a little even
Seinfeld
harder.
style.
All right, so
baby.
right now,
love
who's
it.
your favorite comedian to listen to?
Sebastian Maniscalco. He is a little blues sometimes.
Yeah.
A little bit, but most of it, 95% of the time, it's just him talking about his Italian family and just funny stuff that anybody can relate to.
Now, are you Italian?
Well, man, it's funny that you asked that. My
Long
mother's
story.
father was born in Sicily.
Oh, wow.
All of us in the family have grown up believing that we were Italian until a few months ago, where my oldest son says, "Dad, I got to tell you something. I just had the blood test thing done to find out what all of our nationality is." He said, "I'm zero Italian, which means you're zero Italian." He's 13% Greek, which means I'm 26% Greek, which
No
means my
kidding.
mother was half Greek, not half Italian.
And I call this the Elizabeth Warren effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I'm breaking plates everywhere. I've got to buy plates all over the place. And we're like, going into debt because I broke all the plates. Oppa! And
The
So-
random guy on the street has more Italian blood in his family than
Yeah,
you do. Yeah,
yeah.
that's funny.
That's great.
yeah, Elizabeth Warren.
I'm
or
not
as I call
127th Cherokee Indian anymore.
Elizabeth Warren, or as I call her, Jokahontas.
Jokahontas.
So all these years I believed it was Italian.
Yeah.
And nobody knew and nobody checked. We just assumed because he was born there that he was that, but he was Greek.
wow.
And so we're Greek.
Wow.
I'm a quarter Greek.
That's
That's tough.
nuts.
I'm
That's
a
a-
quarter Greek and a quarter Mexican from my mom.
That's a tough moment.
Yeah.
A quarter Mexican.
She's half Mexican, half Greek.
Now you can speak Spanish, right?
Poquito palabras para no rápido.
Ah, there we go.
That comes from the State Patrol years, though, not from the fact
Yeah,
that he's
I think
part
that's
Mexican.
right.
My grandma taught me a little bit, but on the Highway Patrol in California, you have to do a whole course of Spanish, and then you have to test doing all of your FSTs in Spanish to
No
pass.
kidding.
Yep. See.
See,
See. So maybe we go into that. Maybe
Hombre.
so we keep, we're throwing this out here about the State Patrol years, right? I know you want to press into that a little bit or talk to me about that a little bit. You want to go straight into that?
well, a
Okay.
little bit of backstory on
Okay,
that.
backstory.
The first time I met Steve, so you guys came to stay at our short-term rental, little Sailor Ridge Resort, and you were telling me about how you got kicked off an airplane.
I did.
A state patrolman getting kicked off an airplane. Why?
It was the COVID
Yeah.
scenario, and it wasn't even because I wasn't wearing a mask. It was because I didn't like the policy about the masks.
Who did?
So that we were on the plane and the mask was in my pocket
Right.
This is why I love
and
Steve.
I was eating
Yeah.
and my tray table's down and the lady comes by and says, put your mask on. I go, I'm eating right now. I'm going to put it on. She goes, do you have a mask? I go, yeah. She goes, well, can I see it? I go, no, but I have one. I'll put it on when it's time. She goes, you're out off the plane.
That
Like
quick?
they weren't going to put up with anything, right? They were done with it, right?
Wow.
So that was on the way to come out here.
Yeah.
And so we came out here. Michelle got to fly on that plane. I had to go out and run through the terminal and buy a ticket on American Airlines.
A totally different airline.
Totally different airline. And fly 3 hours behind her. And she had to sit at the rental car thing for 3 hours in Nashville waiting for me to
love
come
it.
in.
Man of conviction.
It's a free country, though.
Yeah. You would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That was fun.
That is wild, man. That's those the vid days.
I
The vid
didn't
days.
comply with anything.
Yeah.
So they said, don't go anywhere, don't go out if you don't have to. And I told Michelle, I'm going to the store every single day. I'm not even going to buy anything. I absolutely not wearing a mask anywhere I go. And I would go into the store and just walk up and down every aisle. And then, people would say stuff, and then I would just leave. And then I would just leave. And then the next day I just go to the store, whether we needed it or not, just
I
to
love this.
defy.
Yes.
Just to be
They
defiant.
Yes.
created
Yeah,
a monster.
that's right. That's right.
Kick me off a plane.
That's right.
Was
I'll go do the Caveman Combine 4 years in a row, and I'll show you.
What's the saying? When liberty is outlawed, only outlaws are free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, and just for listeners, like you're in California. So it's not.
That was then, you mean?
Yeah,
That was in
then.
that was in
Yeah.
California.
You're
Yeah.
doing that not in like
Not-
backwoods,
Yeah. Oh no.
Alabama.
No, that was in California where they are just raging libs. Yeah. so-
Why does it have to be backwoods Alabama when we're talking about conservatism?
Because if I say
What?
backwoods,
Did you see where he went with that?
if I say backwoods Georgia, everyone knows I'm talking about Caleb.
Caleb's house.
Yeah. So,
We didn't even know what a mask was through COVID.
we didn't know COVID happened.
You know what you have when you have a group of people from Georgia?
What?
A full set of teeth.
There you go. There you go.
I love it. I love it, dude.
Barata.
All right. So before you were a state patrolman, what'd you do?
I was a garbage man.
Oh, yeah, this is awesome.
I drove the big front loader, the
Yeah.
one that you stab the bin and dump it over the top.
Oh.
I did that for six.
Is that
6
with
years.
the steering wheel right in front of you? Like
Yeah,
this?
yeah. I mean, it's a regular truck. Yeah. Everything's the same except for you got all these controls to dump these bins and then compact them back and. Yeah.
So why did you want to make that transition? Like, why did you go garbage man one day to like, you know what, I want to be a state patrolman?
Well, I was getting older. I was getting older, and it got to where I either had to do the garbage thing for the rest of my life, and they just tears your back and knees up,
Yeah.
or I could transition to something else that had way better benefits and pay and stuff. And so I was getting to where the highway patrol cutoff age was right there. You had to be done by your 36th year with all your tests and all that. So I was 36 and I had gotten all the testing and stuff done.
So
Yeah.
your rationale was, I want my knees and back to be present, but I'm going to go get shot at.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I never did get shot at though.
Well, it's funny. I was just thinking, like, he's taking out the garbage, and now he's like, no, I want to take out the real
I want to
Yeah.
take out the real garbage.
Transition to a whole nother type of garbage.
totally different.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so in the state patrols, I know this about you because we've talked a lot about this, but your favorite shift was night shift,
Graveyard.
graveyard. Yeah.
Yeah, graveyard. Everybody has a thing that they like to do. There were guys that just loved to just go out and write tickets. There were guys that loved to get stolen cars. There were guys that loved, they were just all different. Just your thing you want to do. My thing was to go and get drunk drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The night crowd, I'm sure, the most fun.
And I got a lot of them. I arrested over 1,000 of them in a 16-year period. But there was a little bit of backstory to it because my dad, he was a rough and tumble guy, never cry, cowboy kind of guy, born in Oklahoma.
Love it.
And one of his good friends was killed by a drunk driver, a girl, friend of their family. And then my cousin, when he was 24, was killed in a drunk driving accident. And so it wasn't like I was rabid, but I went out there and I just went, I'm going to get every drunk driver I can get.
Yeah.
So me and my partners we just ate it up.
I feel like if I was an Uber driver, I would want the graveyard shift too. That would be the most interesting Uber
Oh, yeah.
driver. Like
Yep.
if you had to be an Uber driver.
Oh, yeah.
Like I want to pick people up
Yeah.
from 11 to 3 a.m.
I-
What's that going to be like?
And it's funny you say that because I was the very first Uber driver before there was ever Uber or Lyft. in San Francisco,
Really?
working for the highway patrol. I had to commute. And so I would stay several days at a time and work double shifts and stuff. But for off time, just because there was nobody there, I would just go shoot pool at night when I had some off time. So I'm shooting pool, and there was all these drunk people, and they had no ride. And they said, "Hey, will you give us a ride?" So they all gave me gas money, and so I gave these people rides home in San
That's so
Francisco.
If you only
So
knew how to
I was
turn it
the
into an
first
app, Steve.
Uber driver, and there were no apps back then. You know,
That's
I think I had a Motorola flip phone in 2005. That's when that was.
You know what I love about that story? You're so adamant there will be no drunk drivers on the road, whether on duty or off duty.
Yeah.
You're making sure
Yeah,
the roads are safe.
I hated it. And the sad part was, I mean, the tip of the iceberg. Me and my partner could go out and arrest 4 a night. And and our other partners out there, they could each get 2, and we could get maybe 10 for the shift, maybe. And that would be the very tip of the iceberg of what was actually driving around out there.
Where in California are you?
So the first 3 years were in San Francisco, 2005 to 8, and then from 2008 to 2020, was North Sacramento, one of the busiest offices in the state.
No kidding.
Super busy state, stolen cars, hit and runs, just all day long.
Because they're
every
so
day.
conservative.
Yeah.
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 So that's it. That's interesting. I'd have to.
Yeah, North Sac in San Francisco. And San Francisco back then was a dream compared to what San Francisco
So
is
I
now.
have
I
a-
wouldn't
You
even
said
go
you
to
never
San
got
Francisco.
shot at.
I never did. I never got shot at.
Well, he shot them first.
Did you ever shoot?
I just went out and shot 3 people and just figured I'll just get it done. You know, every night before shit. Yeah.
He had a sign that said, "I'll shoot you first." And
Yeah.
they're like, well, I'm not shoot back. So question, do you think that maybe, I have a theory, right? I have a theory that where men don't work, more crime happens. Right?
Yeah, because
You know,
devil will find work for idle hands to
man,
do.
I would be
Yeah, that makes
horrible
sense.
if I didn't work, right? I mean, like, work has a place in God's kingdom to keep hands busy, right? And I have a theory that where welfare is rampant, right, for men, especially handouts, you see more crime. Do you think there's any truth
I
in
think
that?
it's ingrained to us from the Creator to work. He put man to work immediately in the garden, even before the fall.
Amen.
Yeah.
He put him to work. And so if you do not have a job, whether by choice or no choice, you were trying to find a job because it's in you to work, or you're going to go find some activity to do in lieu of work that probably isn't good, but you are actively, moving forward to do something.
Do you find that's a correlation in crime, like to some degree?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
because people that aren't working don't have money, but they still want all the things that working people have, so they steal it.
Well, that's easier than working for it,
Yeah.
right?
Well, some of the ingenious ways they steal, you'd think like, man, if you would just go to work, you could make way more money than what you're doing then.
Right.
Dude.
You were really good at
I
that.
have no idea.
It's unbelievable.
It seems though that the governor of California is really cracking down on the criminals by just making sure,
Making more of them.
just changing. If you just change the laws,
Yeah. Well,
if you make stealing legal,
Yeah.
then theft
we
is
won't.
no longer
We will
an
no
issue.
longer arrest people for misdemeanors. You
Right.
know, and so all these things just
The crime rate just
If
plummeted.
you steal less than $900, it's not a crime. So people go in and just steal from the
Yes.
grocery stores. You know?
The only thing I need to know from Gavin Newsom is what hair gel do you use?
Yeah.
Because his hair is exceptional.
It's immaculate. I mean, the man has got that. That's all he's got. Yeah.
Enter promo code for
Yeah.
He can make $1 million off
488
just sponsoring
coiffed.
a hair gel.
queefed. All right. You mentioned God. All right. Take us back. Raised as a Christian.
Yep.
How many brothers, sisters?
One brother,
Just you and your brother?
me and my brother, which is a contrast because my dad had a brother and 3 sisters, and my mom had 11 brothers and sisters.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
you were the odd bunch.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
Was
they
your
just
dad a Baptist?
no, they were Pentecostal.
Pentecostal?
Yeah.
You said your dad was an old school hardcore Oklahomian and
He
you're
was.
Pentecostal?
Yeah, well, his parents were Pentecostal and they went to Pentecostal
Okay.
churches. He didn't jail with a lot of it, but
Okay, I
but
got you.
because sometimes you do what your parents like you to do,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we all went to Pentecostal churches. But
Yeah.
then when I got older, I didn't jive with the Pentecostal movement, so I went to non-denominational, raised my kids
So
non-denominational churches.
mom and
Mom was a
dad.
Baptist as growing up
Okay.
as a Baptist,
All right.
but she fell in line with, my husband goes, they go to Pentecostal church, so that's what we do. So we did it for a while, but then, it all drifted away from Pentecostal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hard, but both living out the Christian walk.
Mom, yeah. Dad, definitely saved, but not necessarily living out the Christian walk.
Okay.
He was saved his whole life, but he was also a very rebellious person. And
Got it. And is it my present?
he he did the drinking and the smoking and the
I got you.
tattooing
Okay.
and the swearing he knew the truth, and he made sure we stayed in church and we went to church, and he went too.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like, you go, I'm not, but you have to. He went, and he knew, and but he just he wasn't devout in the rest of his life. He didn't.
What was his background pre-marriage to your mom?
He was just a blue collar guy. Didn't graduate high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just did every kind of job there was, from welding to building to RC1 channel to we worked on construction sites. Was our first jobs as kids. We worked with my dad. He's a contractor. He became a contractor, got his contractor's license, and did pavers and did all kinds of construction and that kind of stuff.
I find it interesting. Like I myself have went through this phase a little bit with children, right? And God shook me up out of it quickly, right? Praise Jesus. Thank you for that. But I do find that there's some men that their activity in life, they develop a kind of shame, and they're like trying to push their kids to be better, and they're like, you're going to be better than me, but they have a hard time getting over that themselves, right? And so they keep falling back into like a lifestyle that they just are like, I've already missed my opportunity, but I want to make sure my kids walk with the Lord, but there's no way the Lord could accept me.
Right. And he told us flat out, he goes, I was called to be a pastor, and I ignored that call. He goes, I flat out, God told me to be a pastor, and I ignored it. And
Golly,
so
don't say that to me on this podcast.
Yeah. So he did. He told us. So I'll give him credit, because that's a hard thing.
That's a tough thing to say,
you could just not say that. You could just,
But he
just
allowed,
not admit
but
it.
It seems like he might have allowed that to haunt him.
He might have wanted us to not. He regretted, I'm sure, probably
Yeah.
not doing it, and then he wanted us to not have that kind of regret. So you stay in school, and he was just a burly guy, beard, belt buckle, boots his whole life. But you try to go to bed at night without kissing him goodnight, and he'd tell you, "What, you too old to kiss your old man?" We kissed every night.
No
He
kidding.
hugged us every day. And there was love everywhere. He just, he was just a rough guy, and I just don't think he could ever get back to. He was saved. He died a horrible death. I know he went to heaven, but he just didn't live it out. Like he just was more like a good old boy, and he, when he was with the boys, he was a good old boy, and so.
Listen, man, strong personalities. I tell people, like, you got to, like, shame is a real thing. Like, you got to conquer that. You can't allow shame to keep, because, you have a hard time in a strong personality sometime relating the fatherness of God. Like, you see God as the Lord, right? And you see, and this is me, right? I mean, I went through this season of, like, God is Lord, and God is powerful, and He is King, and you better respect Him as that. And but seeing God as Father and tender, and that was difficult for me in a season, and I see a lot of men fall into that, and it's like seeing that prodigal, that father.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's probably more of just not an absent dad, right?
And he was there; he wasn't absent at all, and he would try. Like, we would go to bed, and he'd be reading his Bible on the couch at night before, So he always knew the right thing, and he just could never,
But what did that do for you and your brother growing up?
Well, see, I was pretty obedient to, it was like, he was very, like, your grades will be perfect, excellent, or you will face the wrath, type of thing. We were spanked.
He got the Old Testament side of it.
We were spanked and the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Thank God. I mean, you need it,
Amen.
But I think God dealt with him at the end. I mentioned, I won't go into the whole thing, but he died a terrible death. He was in a coma for 8 years. And I think it was God dealing with him for the years that he ran and didn't do what, he was called to be a pastor, and he didn't do it. So I think God just mobilized him in a bed.
Wow.
And dealt with him.
Still brain activity?
He was in a coma, but like, I would go and I would put earbuds in his ears and play music from when he was a trucker. He was an 18-wheeler, driver for years too. And I would put old songs on, and when I would do it, he would turn his head around like he was aware
Wow.
of something. Or I put his keys in his hand from his truck, and I go, "Hey, Dad, I brought your keys," in the hospital.
Yeah.
And he would feel them, and he was in a coma with his eyes open.
Wow.
He never
No
woke up
kidding.
out of the coma.
Wow.
Yeah, and to me, the thing that struck me, and I would have dreams because it's a traumatic thing. I have dreams that he would wake up, and my dad woke up, but he never did. But I just felt like as I thought about it more, I thought, I think God got him quiet because he's always running around with a million irons in the fire. He got him quiet, solid. Sometimes God has to put you in prison or wherever to deal with you.
Wow.
He put him in a bed for 8 years. He dealt with him, and then he took him home.
The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. He makes me lie down.
Oh, yeah.
in green
That's-
pastures.
Which means
Amen.
I don't want to be made. Let me go just lie
Yeah.
down.
And those shepherds would break those lambs'
That's
legs
right.
to
Yeah.
keep
That's
them
right.
from running. And
That's
and a
right.
lot of people think that's the correlation for that verse. He makes me lie down. It's for my own good, so I don't get eaten by the wolf.
I can
He will
relate.
break my leg, and that hurts, but it's better than something chewing
It's
my
better
head
than
off.
getting devoured.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
he's there with my mom. She died in 2004. He died in 2012.
How was how was their marriage in
They stayed married the whole time. She was a very meek and quiet and very, okay, honey, type. And he was a very gruff and
Gil Callahan.
kind of guy. He was very gruff, but he loved her, Yeah. And he didn't know he married a Greek girl.
He
I'll
thought
tell
he
him.
was Italian.
She was Italian.
Yeah, that's
He would have totally felt traded on that.
Oh, that's funny.
You didn't tell me.
Funny.
Oh gosh, no. But they're both in heaven, 100%. Confident in that.
That's the
And
best life insurance.
we had
policy
great
you can
life.
give.
Yeah, we had great growing up. We didn't have money, but we had everything we needed.
Yeah.
And just the love part, be discipline and love. These poor kids don't have it these days.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for every spanking I got and for every hug. So I did the same. Every day I hugged my kids, hugged
Yeah.
them and told them I loved them. And so they will always have that, no matter how old they get. But,
Yeah.
but
one thing a comedian I was listening to speaking of comedians, he said, one thing I give the older generation is they meant their vows.
yeah.
Right? It wasn't over a feeling.
Oh,
It wasn't
sure.
over we had to feel like we loved each other. It's like, no, we made a commitment.
Yeah.
And because we made a commitment, we're going to stay in it together. Whether we
Yeah.
hate each other some years or love each other some years.
Yeah.
We made a commitment.
You
right?
look at it, my grandparents, they stayed married. My grandmother's still alive. We just went back and, for her birthday, she's 98,
Wow.
Idaho. And her and her husband, my grandpa, they stayed married. My parents
nuts.
stayed married,
Where's your brother at?
My brother's
98.
retired
Wow.
sheriff's deputy. He's still in Sacramento,
Both
Elk
of y'all
Grove.
ended up state patrol?
Yeah,
Or
and
ended up in-
two of my sons are on.
Yeah.
Well, he was Sac County Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
He ran there. He did patrol. The
Did y'all do
jail.
that about the same time? Or
He did it. He did it first.
Okay.
He was on first. Yeah, he did the range and patrol and the jail, and then ended up being their helicopter pilot and fixed wing pilot when he retired, and then taught a little bit of the helicopter classes until he retired fully from that. Now he goes back and just does all their. He's retired, but he does the destroy all the evidence. That's all done, and the court cases are done. You got to go destroy that. So he does that. Then I have two sons. 2 of my 6 kids are cops, and they're sheriff's deputies in Amador County.
Wow.
wow, cool.
Yeah,
That's California.
California.
Bless them.
Yeah, and I'm in Tennessee now. I've been in Tennessee
Bless
for
them.
Yeah.
about going on 4.5 years. 4.5 years. It is 4.5
Yeah.
years.
Are they not
Yeah, it
ready?
is.
Are they not ready by now, being police
Oh,
in California, to like come to the
No,
the light,
I want.
come out of the dark
I
side
want him
into
to,
the
but
light?
the oldest son, he just started a business. He opened a cigar lounge.
Yeah.
And so he's got a business going now. So it's like, well, I don't know that he's coming out anytime soon.
Tennesseans love cigars.
I know it. I told him, why do you want to open a business in California of all places? All that regulation.
Yeah, I mean,
Come-
you
come
get
out
to-
here. You can
get
build
to-
a-
You get to keep 40% of what you make.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do that for?
You can build a cigar lounge out here with just plywood and 2x4s, and no one will even inspect the building. I mean,
We'll come smoke at that,
yeah,
and you get to keep 70% of it.
yeah. No state income tax in Tennessee. Hey, we'll take it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Little pitch right there for you,
Yeah.
for all those Californians, as if there's not enough doing the
Yeah.
big leap to Tennessee.
It's already happening, right? To Texas for sure. So your transition from why did you leave California, head to Tennessee? Anything between that you want to talk about? I mean, I'm kind of.
Yeah,
I don't
actually.
want to. Yeah, I don't want to.
But this leads into it. So
Okay.
I meet Steve, he comes and stays. And who booked the treehouse when y'all came?
My niece, my brother's oldest daughter, booked her stay and then told Michelle, remember that? And
I
said,
do remember
there's
that.
this tree house in Tennessee and we're going to be staying at it, but it's a long wait out to be booked out. So we're going to be going in. And it was like 9 months later.
Right.
So
He thought you were in Tennessee.
Michelle goes, oh, I got to look this place up. Sailor Ridge. She looks it up and she calls and gets on some wait list and gets in earlier and kind of rubs it in my niece's nose like, well, we're going too, but we're going before you. And so when they came, we bought their massages for them, and all that.
yeah.
So we came out
Yeah.
because Michelle booked it and got in on a cancellation, and that's how we came out.
So no, y'all were not planning on moving.
We were planning on moving.
Okay.
We were already looking for places.
Got
We
it.
didn't know where it was going to be
But
yet.
you weren't planning on Tennessee necessarily.
We didn't know for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But then it got narrowed down very soon to Tennessee and to a lake somewhere, and so that's how we got on Watts
So
Bar.
y'all stay at the treehouse. You're house hunting. I meet you, and then they drop this bombshell of a story. So we're building the lookout tower. I think at the time
It wasn't done, I don't think.
Yeah, it was maybe.
I
Just
think
a
I
cleared
went up
lot.
there and yeah, I don't think it was anything
Yeah.
yet. Yeah.
Literally, maybe just the trees are gone, and we asked how'd you guys meet, right? No, I'm gonna let you take it from there.
Drum roll, please. Let's see. I'm going to try to condense it because I
Okay.
don't want it to be long.
Yeah.
So I was raised, in a Christian home, going to church, and my parents never let us step foot in a public school, so we went to Christian school. So I start kindergarten out in a little tiny Christian school in Sacramento, and I meet this kid.
That's when there were still Christian schools in Sacramento.
There were nobody really, they weren't doing that thing yet. Really, it was just starting to become a thing.
Yeah.
And Colonial Christian Academy.
Wow.
Colonial.
Colonial.
In Sacramento.
Colonial Christian Academy. It's now a
Wow.
Fijian Pentecostal church.
Yeah.
But so I meet this kid. We become best friends in kindergarten. Phil Caruso. Me and Phil Caruso become friends in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third. And then we were away from each other for a couple of years, going to different schools. And then we met up in fifth grade at another school and went all the way through from fifth grade and graduated together. So this has been my compadre, my best bud, my
From
sleepovers and birthdays since we're 5 years old.
That's nuts.
Okay. So while we're in high school, I meet my then first wife. We were dating for a couple years, and we get married a couple years out of high school. So we get married. We graduate in '85. We get together in '84. We get married in '87.
Wow.
Phil is my best man.
Cool.
A few years later, Phil meets a girl who also went to high school with us. While we were seniors, she was a freshman.
Okay.
He marries her, Michelle, and I'm his best man. And we're still going to the gym every week, and we still see each other all the time, and we're just from 5 years old,
Yeah.
teens,
Doing everything.
20s, 30s, 40s, we're together, friends. And so, long story short, I'm going through a divorce tragically after 30 years. I won't go into the details, but my phone rings, and it says Phil, my buddy. Oh, hey, bud, what's up? But it's not Phil, it's Michelle, his wife, crying, saying, we lost Phil yesterday. He passed away suddenly, just out of the blue, while they were on vacation, wakeboarding in Lake Shasta with tons of friends. 11 people on the boat. Michelle's on the boat with them. Both of his sons are on the young teenage boys are on the boat. They were big time motocross people and wakeboarders. And he does a wakeboard run. He tosses the rope. He swims back in. He gets in the boat, unzips his vest, and says, I am exhausted, and falls over dead on the person next to him.
Wow.
Michelle's trying to give him CPR in front of their boys. Her father is there. I mean, they're all on vacation. This happens
how
in
old
front of
is he?
every 49 and a half to the day.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody's stunned. Just imagine your best friend since you're 5. You just get a call. He's gone, So
What was it?
he had some, I forget the medical, he was a doctor, by the way. He was a doctor.
Yeah.
He had plaque all around his heart. His wife, Michelle, did go through his phone afterwards, and he had several Google searches for chest pain. She's not. He's a doctor, so he could just been searching it for other reasons,
Sure.
or he could have just been like for himself.
Sure.
Don't know.
You don't know. Yeah.
It came on like that. They never revived him. There was a doctor at the dock when they pulled into the dock, and that guy tried, to revive him. He never came back. So the transition to how we met. So Michelle, his wife, who I knew as a little freshman when I was a senior, and now I'm divorcing, and now she's a widow, and we were never really tight, me and her. Me and him were. We would just go off and do things. We would take the boys shooting, but we didn't do a lot of things as a family.
Right.
So we now all these men in her life from her church and other people are pouring into her sons, like, taking them out to lunch and taking them. And I said, hey, listen, I'll take your boys and I'll teach them how to change a tire and how to light flares. Just give them some man skills, right? And lo and behold, a week after I did that, the oldest son was with a group of friends and they got a flat.
Oh, wow.
And he gets out and he changes.
And he shot a flare.
And he changes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He changed the flat.
Caught the whole car on fire, and then they're still working on the insurance to this day.
I meant to change the flat, not
Yeah.
shoot the flare.
So I took them to lunch, and I'd known them since
That's
they were
so
little,
cool.
and my kids had gone to their birthday parties, and so there's nothing dating wise. It's just like, hey, I'm going to help you. This is my best friend since I'm 5. We'll help you however we can. All these other guys are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then one thing just led to another. Like I said, I was already going through a divorce, and one thing led to another, and dating apps and all these things, and me and her are talking, and she's like, how do you do that? How do you navigate? She'd been married for 25 years. I'd been married for 30 years. You're going to meet someone, you don't even know them, you don't know their whole story, you don't know if they're weird, what do we do? A dating app thing, and we had been talking more and more, and we just ended up dating each other and getting married. So there you go.
Let's just bypass the app idea and let's go straight into one another.
So a couple years later in 2020, yeah. So he died in 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. So in 2020 we got married, and then we came out and the house that we ended up finding, we found while we were in the tree house. We were looking at homes. Are we going to do it out here? And this one came up, and we're like, this has potential. We left the treehouse and drove to Tennessee and went and looked at this place and said, put an offer on this place. Drove back to the treehouse, went back to California and waited, and went back and forth with the offer, and they accepted, and the rest is history.
I love it.
And we've been at that house, and we just moved out of that house. We've spent 3 nights now in our new house.
Wow.
Because we wanted property. So now we got 33 acres.
I did not know that story. I love that.
You've never heard that
I've
story?
not heard that story.
Oh, yeah. Michelle tells all her girlfriends, and they all cry.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Listen, me and Daniel have talked about this. I was like, if anything ever happened to my wife, dating these days, I'd just be like,
forget it.
Kids, I'm getting y'all through, and I'm going to die in the Middle East.
Yeah.
I'm getting y'all through where you got to get through, and then I'm signing my will over, and Jesus, let's go. Preaching Iran.
Street preaching.
Can I open this now? Can we do a commercial for Dr. Pepper?
Yeah,
this
Dr. Pepper.
part of the podcast
I
is
feel like
sponsored by
after that-
Dr. Pepper, the drink that'll make your tongue reach back and slap your brains out.
I think after that tire changing thing, that was like the perfect caveman.
Can you believe that?
Caveman
A
app.
week later,
That's epic.
he's with friends, and nobody knew how to change a tire, but
And
I
he
had
was
just
like,
showed him how.
That's so cool.
I do.
Yeah.
because-
Right down to, hey, don't tighten all the nuts up. Don't tighten one up all the way. You got to do them all
Yeah,
easy,
yeah.
all the way
Even.
around, star pattern, do it the right way.
Absolutely.
The only
Yeah.
way that would have been better if you'd been like, and there was a woman there, and she became his wife.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
wait.
No.
Oh, wait,
No.
just hold on.
Yes. There it
Let's
is.
go.
Now,
There is.
So he's here. Her son is here because they've been doing the content for the tree sort.
Yep.
One of the people that they were on vacation with when his dad passed away is the little girl that's doing all the stuff now,
Yeah,
who became his
Taylor.
wife. She was on the
Yep.
boat. Taylor was on the boat, and they were like 16
Yeah.
at the time.
Young.
And now they've been married. So now it gets worse. It gets crazier. Her father, John Harris, and I, and the dad that passed away,
Yeah.
Phil, my friend Phil, we all went to high school together.
Wow.
So her dad went to high school with us. Me and him went to high school with us. The whole deal.
Wow.
It's a whole big thing.
So
That's
so
it.
this right here, and we've talked about this. We talked about with Philip and Tyler, but like the importance of having a brotherhood like and the ripple effect that has had with all the curveballs that life throws at you, and sometimes obviously they're devastating. But that brotherhood, growing up together, and what that means for the next generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yep. Yep.
Time out. Philip, do you need us to pause?
No, we're good.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get. I didn't want to.
I saw Phil crawling around the floor. I'm like,
Well, I know. I
chasing
like we can crop this part.
I think
we can crop this. I just want to
lost
make sure
his
because I was
contact.
like,
He dropped a contact lens and he's like, I gotta. Like that guy on Pirates of the Caribbean where
I
his
knew
eye.
something wasn't working. That's why I was just wanting to like. All right, we can crop this. Let's continue.
What's going on with the chair?
That's overheating,
Oh, got it.
so it's not allowing to charge. So, but I have 3 cameras that are 100%, so I'm just going to shift these 3 that aren't, and we'll be fine.
Okay.
All right.
The buttons, obviously, that turns
Yeah.
on. Yeah, got
But
it.
like you can see now, they're all blue, or they're all off.
Well,
They're all off.
let's let him shift when he gets where he wants to. Then we'll keep going.
Okay, let me do that.
Yeah, go ahead and shift. I mean, like we can crop this part, right?
Caleb's like bathroom break.
Yeah,
This is the brief intermission. What should be our first product? I mean, obviously Dr. Pepper. That's
What'd you do with my other drink?
in the fridge.
in the fridge
First product for what?
for Caveman Combine advertising. What's that?
Dr. Pepper, anybody?
No, I'm good.
Good.
I'm good, bud.
Like a legit product for Caveman?
Yeah.
Ben Gay. Down's pills.
That's funny.
Dude wipes.
Yeah, dude wipes, Gold Bond.
That's a good one, dude wipes.
Gold Bond.
Gold Bond. Yeah.
That's a big one.
Hey, I did tell Michelle, I was like, if like the 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock next year, I think even she can come out and advertise, like on the Friday. Like, remember we talked about we might have people come out on that Friday, like early, like, hey, we got booths set up.
Yeah.
She could come out advertise the massage.
Oh, Christy.
Yeah, Christy, sorry.
Yeah. I was like,
Michelle's
Michelle.
my wife.
My bad.
Yeah.
I got the,
Yeah.
Michelle Christie.
I was like,
similar.
What's your wife advertising these days?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't keep
She's
I
up.
can't wait to find out.
Steve's like,
Scuba
is my
gear.
wife said she's getting massages
Scuba
to other
gear,
men?
yeah.
Oh,
we're scuba diving somewhere on the other side of the world.
You're literally Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve.
You're
Yeah.
Scuba Steve.
Yeah. A buddy of mine told me
Yeah,
that too.
just
As soon as they, hey, you're Scuba Steve.
All right, so picking back up, one of the pros of meeting Michelle, getting married, is she mandated almost that you become scuba certified.
She is a sweetheart. She doesn't mandate anything. But what she said was this: I'm going to continue to scuba dive. If you want to join me, you might want to get certified.
That sounds like a mandate.
Not really. She goes, you can come to the resorts and stay in the room, I guess.
It's a
But I
tease.
will be scuba diving. But I mean, as a kid, and I think I told you this, I grew up watching Jacques Cousteau. We
Yeah.
were poor. We didn't do vacations. We didn't go. Vacation was get in a camper and maybe drive to LA to go to Disneyland one time when we were like 6 years old. We went one time. But for us, vacation was camping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I look back on it and I'm like, thank God, that's all I really wanted to do anyway. I didn't need
Yeah.
to go or do anything else. I
Yeah.
loved fishing for trout and having my
Totally.
knife on
Being
me.
a boy.
So we didn't do all that. But Michelle had been scuba diving, her and Phil, her late husband, since 93.
Wow.
And so she already had 250 dives before
That's
I
nuts.
even married her. I only have 70. But I'm going to try to catch her.
So you were like the guy. You were like the guy on the bunny slopes.
Yep.
In his new wife is like going down the Black
Yeah,
Diamond.
yeah,
And
I'm
she was like,
snow
hey, honey,
plowing.
I'll come see you at the end
Yeah.
of the day. And you're like,
Yeah, I'm snow plowing, running into kids, but
we'll
I
get
love
there.
it. I always wanted to because I'm watching Jacques Cousteau and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But we could never afford or even dream of things like that. It was
like
you watch.
going to the water with long bamboo sticks.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. We'd go out in the little doughboy pool that my dad put together that he got at a garage sale. We didn't even buy a new one, but and that was good enough. But I love it. We've dove all over the world and we've got a whole bunch of more places to go. And so so I was like, bam! I got scuba certified in in Tennessee in a rock quarry,
That's
and
so cool.
immediately went out, and I've just been pounding it, man.
So how many years have you been scuba certified?
Only going on 2 years.
Oh, no
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
I thought it was longer than that.
I just did it. Well, we were, we got married, and then we weren't in California too long before we were looking to move out of California,
sense.
and then
Okay.
it was the hunt for the house out of California. Was it going
Lot
to be
of moving
Montana,
pieces.
Wyoming, Texas?
Yep,
Where's it
yep.
going to be? And then we got into Tennessee and got settled down for a year or so, and then I'm like, well, I got to get scuba certified. She had the itch to dive, and so I got certified, and bam, we went to Florida and knocked out 16 dives, and
What?
So-
Whoa. Knocked out 16 dives. So like,
we were
in
doing
how
4
many
dives.
days?
We were doing like 4 dives a day for a little bit. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
you go out
wild.
on these boats and you do 2 in the morning. They come back and you do lunch and you go back out and do 2 more. And it's exhausting, but it's fun.
Yeah.
You're out there with sharks.
Have you ever
and the
seen
whole
that
thing.
movie 12 Lives, 16 Lives, 12 Lives? That rescue mission where they go into the
Oh,
cave
Yes.
in
yeah,
Thailand?
yes.
Yes, and they have to
12
put
Lives,
those
yeah.
kids out and put
Anesthesia. to
Yeah,
the
that
kid.
is a great movie.
Incredible.
Yeah,
movie.
those are cave divers. That's a whole nother kind of.
Have you ever
yeah,
done
they're-
that?
No, not yet.
I would
That's
want
where
to.
they're taking multiple
want to?
tanks, and they're taking the tanks off, and they got to shove them through a crevice
Nah.
so they can fit. You can't do it with it on your back.
The entire, I think, if you measured my breathing
gonna
rate
die, but I'm not
during
dying that way.
watching that movie,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like half normal.
Yeah.
I was just like
Yeah.
holding my breath the entire time.
The fact that they did that to those
It's
kids and
just
got them out of there.
incredibly
Yeah,
impressive.
that was crazy. So yeah, I would like to do some other stuff diving, super cold water diving, and
Would
just
you do
other
that?
I would.
Cave dive?
A cave dive, yeah, I would if I can get the training and get the right suit and all that kind of. You gotta have a whole different. suit.
I'm borderline claustrophobic. Like,
Yeah, I don't want to get too I don't want to get too crazy. I just want to do some other stuff other than
Yeah.
the wreck diving that I'm doing. I can at what we're doing now, recreational diving. You're technically not supposed to go below 120, but I was telling you I've been
Yeah.
down to 132, and when you look up
132
when
feet.
you look up at 132 feet from the bottom, and you're like, man, that's up there a little bit. I loved it. I wasn't
That's
scared
awesome.
at all, but it was awesome.
put me on the bunny slopes and diving. I'm good on the bunny slopes.
Oh, dude,
I'll stay above the water.
No, we were talking about this earlier. I gotta get my ear fixed, but I would love to do that.
Dude, you would like it, man. It is really the stuff you see is just unbelievable.
So one of the things that, if you're listening and you don't know this about Steve, there's only one person in the Caveman Combine history that has done every single combine.
Who is it?
It's Steve, the OG Rutledge.
And I want to know the first time you heard about the Caveman Combine.
When I came to Sailor Ridge and stayed in the treehouse, and he said, we're going to have this thing coming up. You would be great for it,
Yeah.
even though you're an old man.
Yeah.
Literally, we've never even done it before.
Daniel
and I'm selling them on this
evangelized
thing.
you into
It
it.
hadn't even been done. They were
Yeah.
putting it together.
So he was
Yes.
half lying about everything. He knew
Yeah.
what he was talking about.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be this,
Even
this,
that
and
is a fantastic story because I wanted to do it, and we were going to be in California.
Yeah.
So he gave me all the info, and I'm like, bro, I want to do it, but I'm going to be in California. So we go to California. No plan to do the Caveman Combine. Wanted to do it, but it wasn't going to happen. Daniel sends me, I talked to Michelle, and I go, man, I wish I would have done that. It was all full. All slots had filled up.
Yep.
I send Daniel on a whim. I send him a text or an email or something, and I go, hey, is that thing still full or whatever? And he's all, coincidentally, one slot came open.
Yes.
One. I turn to Michelle and I go, I'm going to leave a week early from California and go do this thing. So I said, put my name in here.
Because you were moving the next week anyways, right?
No,
Oh.
not yet. This was,
Oh.
yeah, we not yet. So I leave California. I leave her there. I come home a week early and I go do the first Caveman Combine, of which I was the oldest guy.
Yeah.
And then the next year there was a guy older than
There
me.
was,
And then
yeah.
I think the next 2 years after that, I was still the oldest guy.
Seniority.
Who dropped out that he took their place?
Some wimp.
I know. He's going to go down in caveman history.
Some
I need to
25
go back and
some
and look at it.
25-year-old let some 56-year-old come
Absolutely.
in. I brought something. Can I show you what I brought?
Yes,
a
yeah.
Caveman Combine
Absolutely.
exclusive.
Yeah,
Yes, let's see
absolutely.
it.
I brought because I knew I was coming. I brought my first. This is the first shirt.
The first jersey.
This is the first. I was red team with Daniel and Dustin Nichols and Casey.
Matt
and
Goodwin.
so this, I kept it.
That's epic.
And I wear it to the gym and I do stuff. You see, it's all tore up. But what I'll do is
Still
maybe
haven't washed it. That's incredible.
what I might do is on the as I told Daniel, I'm only
So
going to
y'all were on the same team in the first year.
on the first year, yeah.
That's epic. What place did y'all get? I know it wasn't
We
first because
went from last
No.
to second, right?
Yeah, we did. We
Did y'all
went
get
from
the
last to second because, and the way that worked is, I mean, we were, the sports and everything, we were not good at. I'll just say it. We weren't good at. The obstacle run wasn't, but we crushed the marksmanship and the yard sports.
Yeah. And
well, you had
we
the
got
old
first.
man. You
Yeah.
should crush this yard sports.
yeah. Why not?
Well, marksmanship. I mean, everyone on our team.
And even
we
the
just
team I
smoked
was
it.
just on this last one, we took first in the shooting.
That's the thing
We-
about the
we
caveman.
crushed
Like at any given time,
what team
you
were
can
you?
see
What
a
color?
major
Orange.
transition. That's what I love about it. You can see a big flip at any given time.
Something
in the
can
caveman
go.
comp.
It's like
Yes.
watching a football game where someone's down 3 touchdowns at halftime
Yeah.
and they come back and win.
Yes.
You're like, what happened?
Absolutely.
It goes like that in the game
Boom, just
sometimes.
like that.
All right,
That's
so take us back to the first Caveman Combine.
First Caveman Combine, I come out.
Yeah, what was
I'm
that
the
like?
oldest guy, and I loved it. It was rough, but it wasn't anything worse than living 6 months in the California Highway Patrol Academy. I tell you what, they crush you in there. And so I just kept working out. I always stay in the gym.
Yeah.
I started running a little bit extra, get ready for the combine. I stayed in the gym, and I mean, I love that feeling of pain. That hurts
Yes.
so good. You know that
Yes.
term, it hurts so good.
Yep.
I like going out there and just tearing it up on your hands and knees under some barbed wire and, with a bunch of younger guys. And
Makes you feel alive.
makes
The
you feel
pain
alive.
makes you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
alive.
I came from the dirt. God made me from the dirt. I should lay in it once in a while.
That's what I
Amen.
feel like
Amen to
when
that.
that's what I feel like sparring. Like when I get hit in sparring, it's like I'm alive.
I mean, there it is.
I love it.
So yeah, I loved it, and I'm like, okay, I'll keep doing this.
Yeah.
And but I mean, I'll be 60 coming up here in I'll be 59 coming up my next birthday in February. I'll be 59. So the next combine I'll be 59, and then the next one after that I'll be 60.
You got
and
11 years
I will
left.
retire after
Oh,
that.
11 years left.
I thought we were
Here's how
going
I
to
looked at
70.
it. Here's how I looked at it. I thought I'll just keep doing it, and I thought no, I don't want to get hurt. And then my retirement year, I just bought a tractor. I want to do stuff on my tractor. I got stuff to do on my 33 acres.
funny.
I don't want to be in a cast because I had to go prove to some 20-year-old that I can do the combine when I'm 65.
I love it. And
So
I'll
at
say
60,
this.
I will stop and I will donate this shirt so that 20 years after my death, when there's a Caveman Combine museum somewhere,
Yes,
going up.
absolutely.
I'm going to give this to Daniel. I'm going to say this was a shirt. I may even wear it under whatever color I am on my 60th year. Whatever I am,
Dude,
I'll
I
wear
love
this
it.
one
Yes.
under it.
Yes.
And then I will donate it to the combine to go in the museum at some point in the
Love it.
future when
What
I'm
is it-
just dust.
What is it you do to animals when you inject them with like
Oh, you preserve them.
preserve? We
Taxidermy.
could preserve taxidermy you with the shirt
Yeah.
on and put you in the museum.
Maybe wax figure.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with the wax figure. All right, well,
Michelle probably would be opting for the wax figure.
Yeah.
I will say this: the first caveman, we had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah, it just had to happen.
Like,
but that's
it
how
was-
everything great happens.
Amen.
You don't
Yeah.
you don't want it to unfold perfectly, but
No.
you want it to fall apart in places and then learn from it and then look back because
Yeah.
that's the story.
Dude.
Looking back and going, do you remember how we did this and this and we ended up right here at the sauna at the
Yes.
end of the first one after we
Yes.
climbed up that hill.
Yes.
And
Well, Daniel was looking at his watch and he was like, "We ran 28 miles this weekend."
Yeah.
We were like, "We might need to dial that back a little bit." Like,
And just for context, it wasn't a 3-day, 2-night event. It was a half day, start at 4 o'clock, end at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
insanity.
But we went into till 2 o'clock in the morning.
It was crazy.
yeah, because stuff was just, we were doing tug of war on an uneven surface, and
Yes.
people were hanging off of a kid's swing set with hot chips in their mouth. I mean,
Yes.
it was, and if you don't do that, it ain't no fun. It's like getting scars. You get a scar and don't worry about your scar. That's a great story.
We did the ring of fire on the grass with like a clay rock ground around
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely.
2 people separated their shoulders.
Yeah, we had a separated shoulder
And a cracked rib.
and a
Micah
cracked
had a
rib.
And the
cracked
people
rib.
doing it were acting like there was prize money available for it, like they were trying to kill each other. Right? It was like, dude,
American Gladiators.
yeah, you know. And so the whole remember that first year, it was pick people who can who can hold their breath the best.
Yeah.
And now it's more, everybody's going to get on Pugil stick. Everybody's going to get in the ring of fire. It just morphed into what it is, and that's how everything goes.
What idiots want to fight for a tire on a hard clay ground?
Only in the South, in Georgia, will some guy fight over a bald tire.
Absolutely.
With a bunch of
What'd you
tiki
get?
torches.
Take it home?
With
No.
a bunch of tiki torches. Yeah, he needs that for his truck.
It's like, I need this.
Little boy needs a tire for his truck. The treads are showing. The metal showing on there.
I love it.
The cords.
The evolution of it has been beautiful.
That's the fun part. The evolution.
So first one, and then every single year since. Has there been a
I did
favorite
not
year?
know. I did not know when I went to this last combine. One of you came up to me. I forget who. One of you said, "Hey, we got something special planned for later." And then one of you came up and said, "Did you know that you're the only one that has done this all 4
I
years?"
said we have something special, and he came up and said you're the only one that did
probably.
something very
I had
special.
no idea. I didn't know I had. Was it because the second year you didn't do it? You facilitated it,
Yep.
and then I think this last year you didn't do it, but you did it the year before. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but
this last
you all
year's the
took a
first
year
year I did
off
it.
or 2 years, something.
Yep.
I had no idea. I wasn't keeping track. I didn't know.
Yeah, I think my brother, if he had come this year,
He would have
been there with you.
And Dustin Nichols, had he not hurt his
Oh,
leg
yes,
that one
yes,
year, he was
yeah.
in a cast.
The year before.
Or he
Yeah.
had crutches.
I'm competing next year. I told him, I was like, I don't care what we do. I've got to compete. I can't watch anymore. It drives me
It's
crazy.
it's extremely frustrating. By the time the Warrior Games happen,
You wish you were in it.
oh, it's so
and
frustrating.
then you're like, that 59-year-old is up there, and I'm not. What is wrong
You're
with
just
me?
sitting on the sidelines, and you're like, "Throw me in, coach! Throw me in!"
Too much
Yeah,
for me. I
well,
can't
I'm
do
doing 2 more, and then that's it.
Do you have a favorite year or a favorite?
it.
My
Yeah,
favorite year was just this last one we did because it was the hardest one.
Yeah.
It was by far the longest run.
Yep.
The more grueling of all the runs that we had to do. So I would say that was my favorite because I was still able to finish it even though it was the
Nonstop
hardest
rain.
one. It was the rain. I took some video. I'll have to show you the video I took of inside of our tent. We had to tie the flaps down. I mean, we thought that thing was coming down. It
Yeah.
was like gale force winds. I was doing the bench press, and the guy that was counting had his hands over my eyes because the rain was coming down so hard. So he's shielding my face. The rain is coming down so hard. I'm like, this is awesome.
It's like waterboarding and
There's a group of people that
that's
wouldn't
funny.
even do that, right? They'd be like, "Oh, we got to cancel this," and we're like out there with my eyes shielded
What
by
do you
the
mean
guy.
a group of people? 97% of people on the planet wouldn't do that.
And I'm like, I live for this stuff. I will miss it when I'm gone, but I will come back and hold a clipboard.
It's a weird group of people that come
oh, dude, it is.
that come to the caveman and
is.
enjoy it. Right?
So when Frank,
but it's
was,
my group of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
the people I like to hang out with.
That's right.
When he was announcing it at Calvary Church, and he basically said, if you want to go get injured or injure someone, go to
Go to
Caveman
this thing.
Combine.
Thanks, Frank.
And I'll never forget Griff. He came up and he goes, I heard I can hurt people here. Where do I sign up?
Yeah.
I was like, right here, man.
So it's funny we're talking about this because my wife one night, right, was like talking to me about the caveman, and I was like, on a selfish level, the caveman for me is kind of a filter. Because if you're not willing to go to the caveman, I probably don't want to hang out with you.
For very long.
For very
Yeah,
long.
for
That's
very
right.
long. Yeah,
and
yeah.
I told her, I said selfishly, like, I'm finding
It's a litmus
my group
test.
of men
Yeah,
that I love to
for
hang
sure.
out with. Because if you don't like to push yourself, if you don't like to suffer a little, if you don't like pain a little bit, me and you probably aren't going to get along. Because I like that kind of stuff.
And this is a lot of suffering. If someone will go and do a lot of suffering, who's going to carry a cradle full of cement, bags full of sand up a hill and throw it up? And my legs were cut to garbage from thorns.
Yeah.
And we were doing the push-up things at the where
relay?
you get to spin the wheel.
Oh, got it. Yeah, yeah.
And obviously, whoever cut out that little cutout, they just ran a bush hog through there, and everything that was cut out was still on the ground.
It's like
so every
sticks,
time you went
spikes.
down,
Yeah.
I had stickers in my thumbs and in my fingers. Every time I went down for a down up or a mountain climber, I was like, stab, stab, stab.
Again, context matters. For no prize money.
For no good reason other than I
Absolutely.
wasn't doing anything this weekend. So I'm going to go do that.
That's funny.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I loved them all. But
So it's not Navy SEAL buds, right?
no.
It's not. We're not trying to do a military thing here. I mean, some of these things we're throwing axes and
Knives and shooting
Knives
stuff.
putt, cornhole.
What was in this last year, right? Like we're talking about, you keep saying it was harder. I think one of the things you're focusing in on is we changed the obstacle course up, right? We made it more like a mud run, more you had to push through it, but
It
what
was
el-
longer though, right?
It was longer. Oh, no
Yeah.
doubt, it was longer. And I think it kept you moving, right? There wasn't times where you paused. You had to keep pushing. One thing we're hearing, and this is something we were really trying to make sure that we got better at, and I think, again, we say this on a lot of podcasts, like God knew. Like we saw the rainstorm and we were like, oh, the rain, oh my gosh, what's happening? And it's like God was like, no, boys, shut up. Don't talk. The rain is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
This is a great story.
Y-
did
Yeah.
it
Makes a
help
great
with the
story.
brotherhood in terms of forcing you into your tent and making you build upon that camaraderie?
Yeah, because the clothes that I wore then still smell like campfire smoke.
Oh, I
And I've
believe
washed them 18 times.
I believe it.
We were stuck in those tents.
love it.
And we had to dry everything over the food that we were cooking.
Yes.
And the whole line was full of clothes and socks and underwear and
Yes.
shorts. And you had to get stuff dry and you had to get your shoes kind of dry if you wanted to, And man, that stuff, I washed it 3 or 4 times and I'd get it out and it just, the dryer smelled like smoke.
Yes,
It still
everything.
smelled like smoke. But yeah, I tell my kids the scar stories. You get a scar, you cut your face,
Yeah.
you cut your lip, you get
Yeah.
a scar. I go, man, that is a story right there. You don't even want that to heal. Like, that is awesome. You
Yeah.
need to talk about that
Yep.
forever,
Yep,
right?
Totally.
Yeah. So,
So
Don't
your
cover
favorite
my story.
event? What would you say your favorite event is? What do you look forward to every year?
I look forward to the same thing I don't look forward to every year, and that's the run because it's the hardest. And as an old guy, because I'm always the oldest guy,
Yeah.
I know that when I crossed that finish line, I accomplished something super hard that, a lot of guys, I mean, we've had guys that turned and walked away after the first day, right? There were guys
Oh, yeah.
that left.
This is the first year we didn't have anybody quit.
Dude, it's amazing.
The first year. We didn't have somebody quit.
So
No, we
the
had-
thing I hate the most, I love the most.
Yeah.
Because
No doubt.
when you finish it, you accomplished
Love
something.
hate
no,
relationship.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amen. That's.
I know it's going to be so brutal. Oh gosh, I'm already thinking about the next 2 years. Lord help me. Help me. I just got to get through 2 more.
He's actually really praying that just Jesus comes back. So
I'm praying for the rapture the day before the next combine.
What I'm hearing is 2027 has to be banging. We got to make sure we make that one awful.
entire wheelchair section.
We brought out the human cannonball shot thing. We're going to shoot you into a net over into Daniel's property.
I
Yes.
love it.
We're going to shoot you into the cold plunge.
Oh yeah.
From
Perfect.
Caleb's property.
Perfect.
I love it.
Yes.
So one thing we're trying to do at the Caveman is we're trying to, one thing that we've realized is that God is doing something, right? God is doing something. We're not doing something. We kind of went along. and-
Just saying yes, sir.
Yeah, we're saying yes, and God's kind of doing something. And one of the things that we're trying to be faithful in, and we've talked about this, and that's part of what we're doing right now, is like growing that fellowship, growing that bond, growing that brotherhood of men. And how do we get better on the follow-up, right? How do we get better at making sure that the guys that you were at the Caveman with, you're able to continue to bond with, you're able to continue to get to know and to develop relationships and have that fellowship and that community with. What has that been like in terms of, even mine and your relationship, right? It started at the Caveman,
Yeah.
right? But what has that been like?
And Daniel and
yeah.
me and Dustin, Dustin Nichols.
Yeah.
Casey Jones. You
Yep.
meet these guys and you just like Dusty.
Yep.
A bunch of guys that you meet. I met a couple more. Got their phone numbers on this last one that I didn't know. Nick.
Yep.
And then we ended up doing the pig slaughter, going to do that, and you're meeting guys and you're doing the pig slaughter. And then, I wasn't able to make it out to the radio thing, but I wanted to do the radio thing. So I may just do a little tutorial with you at some point,
Yeah.
get a couple radios.
Yeah.
But you start learning all these skills, right? And you start meeting all these people and you start building all these friends that you didn't have. We went to the lake a couple weeks ago,
Yep.
met a few more people, and Daniel meets a guy at the AT&T store or Verizon store,
Yeah.
getting his phone and says, hey, you want to come out to the
True.
lake with a bunch of guys? And so out there's this guy, I just, I work at Verizon, and this guy came in looking for some phone, and then he said, do you want to come, go to a lake with, a bunch of other guys and talk about stuff? So there's this new guy, But that is how God
And I don't
works,
know
right?
who's crazier,
You don't
Daniel
know.
or the guy that said yes.
Do you know what you walked into, son? Yeah. But
No.
so I try to stay in contact with these guys, and I mean, everybody's busy. You can
Yeah.
only do so much, but God puts certain people in your life for a reason.
Totally.
And you may connect with one or two of them, and that may be all that was intended,
Right.
out of all the ones you meet. But trying to be intentional with guys, like you said, and I've been convicted lately of, I'm willing to share the gospel with anybody. I purposely studied Mormonism and Jehovah's Witnesses so that I could witness to them years and years ago.
Come on in.
Yeah, I go knock on their door. No, but I will talk about it with anybody, but I found myself not really witnessing to a lot of people outside of that. So this guy recently got hired at our church, and he's just an on-fire evangelism guy. And
Yeah.
I find myself now, I'm just giving tracts to people all the time. Like, I keep them in my truck. I keep them in my pocket. Everywhere I go,
Yeah.
I'll leave it on a table. I'll leave it on a desk. I'll just give it to somebody. It says thank you on the front. And so, like, you go to the checkout at the grocery store and you're all done. You go, hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And then on the back is 4 verses that they need for salvation.
Wow.
And so I'm trying to be intentional about that. Trying
That's
to be
cool.
intentional about some of these guys that I met at the Combine that, like, one of them does mechanic stuff, and I need some help deleting stuff on my truck. And so, like, we're going to do that, So a guy that I didn't know before the Combine.
Totally.
And I don't think he came. I think that was his first Combine, this last one. So he hadn't been to the other ones before. So
Yeah, if you're gonna
try to
if you're
stay
gonna-
connected and
if you're gonna get something done, you're doing it with your brothers that you've, for the most part, like that do that thing. I find too that intentionality seems to be seasonal, right? What I mean is, I have certain brothers that are, whether it be geographical location or like me and Daniel, we're right beside each other. We've been brothers for 16 years. We're always going to be brothers, right? But then there's other brothers that God brings into my life for intentionality for seasons, right? And that's something I try to be
for
prayerful
sure.
about. Is like, all right, God's bringing this person into my life. Why is that? And it's not that it may be 3 months, it may be a year,
Yeah.
right? But there's something God wants me to be intentional about that.
I-
How
I-
can I be intentional with this brother for this season?
I do
Amen.
that same thing with a guy from the highway patrol. I know I met a lot of people, obviously working with people, but there's just one who he lost his baby. He died very young, little. I think less than a year or just about a year. And he always comes up in my mind about every 2 or 3 months. His name comes up in my mind, and I immediately get on a text or a call with him.
Wow.
Hey, bud, how you doing?
Yeah.
He's one of the. I don't call him every day. We don't text every day, but his name just keeps coming up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll just, hey, I want to check on you, make sure you're doing all right. Been praying for you and your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
So I get what you mean. We only have so much time in the day.
Totally.
That's right.
And you can't. You can't
Jesus had
spend-
12, right?
Yeah.
He had 12.
Yeah, you can't spend every bit of time with every single person. You have no time for anything
Yeah,
else.
you wouldn't.
And God even says, you do need to rest, and I've been even intentional about that. Sundays now, I would never ever work out on a Sunday. I've been doing that for years. Will not ever go to the gym on a Sunday. That's just for me. I don't judge other people. That's a thing for me. And I go home after church and I just don't do much. I don't do any work. I watch my NASCAR race. I try to actually make it a day of rest and actually rest my body, because I think he meant for us to rest
That's
a
weird.
day.
So
Rest
you think
yourself.
he meant rest on the
Actually-
day of rest?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be that day. You know what I mean? But you should pick a day of the week
No,
and rest.
Because Dale Earnhardt Jr. ain't resting.
they don't have
He's
to
having a
rest.
good time.
But he's retired now.
I'm sorry.
But
Shows how
yeah,
far behind I am in NASCAR.
God has no needs, and he has full energy, and he never tires of anything,
Yeah.
and he knows everything. But he intentionally laid the creation out, and then
Totally.
said he rested. He only did that for us to mimic it.
Yeah.
Same with baptism. Christ didn't need to be baptized. He's perfectly holy. He created Jupiter, for crying out loud. He didn't need to be baptized, but he allowed himself to show us what we should do. The whole reason he came as a man was to show us things
Amen.
that we need to
Yeah.
do. So on Sundays I try to rest and don't do much of anything on a Sunday.
Hold
no,
pressing into going back to brotherhood, discipleship, what does that look like in your life right now?
Trying to work on it more and more with my sons. They're all saved, but several of them, they're not living the way they should probably, and they know it.
They're in California.
Give them a break. They're in California. I mean, on the 9th day, Satan created California. I mean, no, but and boys, if you ever hear this, I love you. You know that.
I love you too.
No, and they do. And one just was here for 4th of July. Always hug and kiss my boys, and anytime I see them, hug and kiss them, tell them I love them. But I want to be more intentional. Like, it almost seems easier to witness to a stranger, or to a Jehovah's Witness, than to certain people in your own family. Sure. Now, they don't need to be witnessed to. They need to be, some of them, told, hey, this ain't the right way to go. You know the right way, and you know everything, and I know you're saved, but you should be going this way, not this way.
Yeah.
So being more, and in this day and age, we have texts and calls and what's that? FaceTime. You have all that, but sometimes there are several states. They're 2,500 miles away.
Yeah.
So I want to be more intentional, like with that. I do a Bible study with my grandson. My oldest son's oldest son is 14. My oldest grandson's 14. Cool. So I called him all the time and said, "Hey, I'm gonna start doing a Bible study with you. You cool with that?" He's all, "Yeah." So they're all into jiu-jitsu. These kids, even my little granddaughter is jiu-jitsu, baby. She knows what she's doing, and they do the tournaments and the whole thing. But yeah, we'll on a Tuesday, we just do a quick half hour on the phone, 45 minutes. I'll say, hey, you find 3 verses. Our topic right now is the deity of Christ.
Yeah.
Where in the Bible does it talk about Jesus being God? Where does he say that he's God? Where does it refer to him as being God?
That's a huge accusation that the Muslims use, right?
Yeah, that he never says it.
Right,
he says it a million times in Scripture. Okay, so
a million.
A million and one. A million and one.
It's a million and one. Yeah.
So that is our topic, is the deity of Christ. And then we're going to go, once we go through a bunch of those verses, we're going to go in. And I'm just breaking them down, Colossians 1:15, Exodus 3:14, John 8:58.
Oh, drop that scripture, baby.
Yeah. And so getting it into them and explaining it detailed to them, and then we're going to go into the deity of the Holy Spirit. And after we do the deity of Christ, however long it takes, but so I want to, no one ever did that with me, even though I was raised in Christian school and raised in church. I knew, but there was no intentional.
Amen.
We're going to talk about how Jesus is God. There are Christians today that don't even know that Jesus is God.
There are Christians today who've never even read the Bible.
Yeah, they don't know that Jesus is the creator, that he created the whole world. They don't know that. They think he's just another person in the story, that, him and Satan, they're kind of like brothers, and one's good and one's bad, and they kind of fight against each other, and, sometimes good wins, sometimes evil wins. But
so maybe I need to say this to Steve's children out there. I have 265 acres. We have land available here in North Georgia. Wake up and
this
come.
man owns 3 businesses. He'll put you to work.
Let's go. We need patrolmen here in Georgia.
Or Tennessee.
Or Tennessee.
Or cigar stores.
My land's in Georgia,
or Kentucky.
and you have cheap land. Let's go. Come on home. Come on home, baby.
So one thing that I do hear a lot, like we're signing up guys for the Caveman Combine. And I would say out of every 5 guys that come, there's a wife or a girlfriend or a fiance that's coming up and signing up their partner, their spouse. And they'll say something like, you have no idea how much he needs this. Or I'm going to sign him up. I don't know if he's going to do this, but I really hope he does. He needs community. And it's always followed up with, he needs community.
Yeah. Because guys tend to be islands sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking to that, maybe your own experience or how you would counsel a guy to find community.
Oh, I've been very like that. I've been very, although outwardly loving to my kids, so that they know, hey, Dad loves you. Pray, I'm praying for you, whatever. I'm also super closed off about very personal things. Like if something really personal is going on, I do not share it. with people, even close friends, right?
Daniel
So-
gets on to me for this. Me and
Yes,
you are
I
much
do.
alike.
I do.
I get yelled at for this all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm not one.
This
If
is
I
true.
have a big issue going on, I don't go to a friend and go, "Hey, this is going on in my life." I just, I
I got in trouble last week for this.
Where he's gonna get like a phone call at 11 o'clock at night and be like, "You got time to talk?" He'll be like, "I
This is
guess I
why-
do."
This is why we compliment each other really well.
Yeah.
Like, he'll call me at 11 o'clock. I'm never going to call. He's like, hey, open up.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I just pray about it. I go to God. I don't need no counselor. I go to the counselor. You know.
Oh, it's so true. I do
Yeah.
this.
But there are probably some things that come up that you probably do need to talk to somebody about. I'm not real big into the whole psychologist, psychiatrist, whole field of things, but
So I'm not either.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before, but one of my favorite movies, Crocodile Dundee, and he's at this rich person's party.
now that's a knife.
Yeah, lots of noise. Yeah. And the guy's like complaining about his life. He's like, I just need to go see my psychiatrist. And he's like, man, it just sounds like you need more mates.
More mates.
Yeah.
Right.
Duh.
This-
Like, you dumb it right down.
This is how much Daniel's not into psychology and counselor. I'm his counselor.
It's
Oh my
scary,
gosh! Stop the
actually.
podcast.
Oh my
It's over. It's time for another commercial break for Dr Pepper.
To
The
which
drink
he's like laying it all out for me and just like, and I'm like, what?
yeah. Everybody, you know what? It's like the body, right? The gifts.
Yeah.
Gifts of the Spirit.
Yeah.
Not everybody has tongues. Not everybody has discernment. Not but everybody together makes that body.
Totally.
Some people are really quiet and held back, but that'll be the guy that'll come tow you out of a ditch at 3 a.m. And, everybody's got their thing that they're good at.
Yeah.
And so I would say this to guys that are listening, because I wouldn't let either one of you guys off the hook. I would say, even if you don't have something going on in your life that you need counseling for, by not engaging in other men's lives, you remove yourself from being a voice of counsel into other men's lives, right? And the majority of so many wounds that every man has, right? At some level, there's just abandonment, right? God wasn't there for me. My father wasn't there for me. I mean, he was present, but, and then whatever wound that came out of. In James it says, confess your sins to one another so that you may be healed. If you don't live in community, there's no one to confess to. If you can't confess to, you can't get healing. Now, I'm not saying that you can't confess your sins to God, be cleansed of your sins. 1 John 1:9, that if you confess that he is faithful to forgive you and cleanse you from all unrighteousness. But when you have another Imago Day, look you in the eye, hear whatever horrendous, thing that you're just shackled in shame with, and says, dude, I love you. God loves you. Like, you don't have to stay here.
I also,
And
yeah,
be
I'm
the
sorry,
voice,
no.
just be the voice of the Father through the Imago Dei, the image of that he represents to another. Like, it's huge, and you're not an island. No one's meant to be an island. I mean, there's one more verse. It's just 1 Peter 5:7, where it says, "Watch out for the devil as a lion, looking around for someone." Prowling around,
seeking whom he
some-
may devour.
And it's always the guy, the gazelle on the edge of the herd, who's not really a part of the pack. He's kind of doing his own thing. He thinks he's good, staying up too late at night because he can't get to sleep or whatever, and he's scrolling things.
Gazelles did that. These gazelles. scroll?
Gazelles
They
did
are
this.
notorious
They
for
scroll.
being on
They
Instagram
were-
way too much.
Way
They are
too
on
much.
social media. The
In the
gazelles,
line
of all the
gown.
land animals, the gazelles are on Instagram way too much.
Way too much.
But pressing into that, right? Confess your sins to one another, and you will be healed. I think there's a real truth in that. We started at the very beginning of this podcast of how men, like strong men, sometimes can get caught up into shame, right? And I think a lot of that shame comes from the idea of it's just me. I'm the only one struggling
Totally.
with this.
Yep.
Right? And so, like, the confess your sins to one another is one of those things where it's like, when you confess and it's like, yeah, I struggle with it too. And it's like, what?
I have that same
It's like,
problem, or
you got that same problem,
my
right?
brother had that same problem.
It's
or,
not just me, right?
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
like, there's that healing in the idea and the concept of, like, no, we're all men struggling with these things.
Yep.
And how can we lean into one another to be able to work through these things,
Yep.
right? Because if you put yourself on an island mentally, you're in trouble. Right?
Yeah,
You're
totally.
in trouble.
Absolutely.
Right? Because the enemy will have a field day with you. Hey, it's just you. You're the only one that goes through this. You
Yep.
can't say anything to these guys. They're going to think you're a loser. Like, how can you be a godly
gonna
man
laugh
and
at
deal
you.
with this? They're going to laugh at you.
Yep.
They're going to all that, like, and it's like, hey, newsflash. I know you're a sinner.
Yep.
Newsflash. You're a sinner. I know this.
Yep.
Right? Because the word of God says, if you say that you have no sin,
You're a
a
liar.
liar.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
so like, newsflash, man, like, we know it. So don't let the enemy isolate you to that island. And
Well, you also
pretending.
don't get to hear the scripture that God has written on their heart, like Romans 8:1. Therefore, there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Right? It's like, oh wait a minute, there's none. Then why do I feel this way? Well, why do you feel that way? You know, maybe it's you don't believe.
Yeah.
Right. In that section of your life, you're choosing not to believe, and unbelief is a sin. And so it's just interesting, but you don't get the time or capacity to process. It's certainly at different stages of your walk is you don't have time to process your life. Kids, young, married, you know, you've got jobs and all this kind of stuff. And you're just like, dude, I'm just trying to put one foot in front of the other.
Well, and highly competitive men are very award-based guys.
Hmm.
Like, I earned it. I earned the award. And if I didn't earn it, it's like, I just gotta shut up and sit down. Right? Like, it's very earn-oriented, right? I find myself, though, I'm that way. Like, I'm a very, like, did I earn this or did I not? Man.
or even if there's no award, it's like, I gotta finish this. I
That's
gotta
right.
do this thing. I have
By
to finish-
myself,
even if
because
there's,
I
even if
failed.
there's, even if there's no award, the reward is the finish,
That's right.
just the finish.
That's right.
I do it all the time. I do it with those stairs I built and over at that other lake house. I'm just like, didn't
You
ask
don't even
for,
own the house
I
no
didn't,
more.
I didn't even ask for help. I didn't, I felt like, I hope it wasn't prideful, but I was just like, I'm going to do it by myself. And I'm going to build the retaining wall by myself. And then I'm going to stand back
Yeah,
and go,
totally.
I'm going to go, that's my reward right
Hey,
there.
you know-
I did it.
I'm gonna hurt your heart.
Oh, man.
It was prideful. You know how I know?
No.
Because I do it too.
Well,
But I look at it and I go, man, I did that. And Michelle the whole time is going, we could just pay somebody to do that.
well,
And I'm like-
and
and
that's
I'm
where I was
like,
going
I
to
know
say.
this is gonna be a
Maybe
lot
it
of
was
work.
prideful, but maybe it was an invitation by your father to say, "Hey, you don't need an expert to come in here and do this. You can do it."
You can do it.
Merit based. That was the word I was looking for. Merit. Right? It's merit based in a highly competitive individual that wants to finish things and do things and that you get. But getting into merit based is very dangerous in the Christian walk.
Well, I mean, all performance
Performance based. Merit based.
is
Yeah.
religion,
Yeah.
right? Like, so if your effort predicates your value or your quality or your worth or your ability to receive or give love, all of that's called compensation, and all of that's religion. The only difference between any worldview, from
what
Sikhism
you
to
worship.
Buddhism to Islam, Mormonism, it doesn't matter. Every single ism is teaching you how to get to God, and it's only Christ who came to us, and that's a relationship purely built on grace.
It's what he did,
Yes.
not what we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And every 3 years, God has to break me of that because I'm a performance driven person.
Where are you on that timeline right now?
Are you in year 2?
I think I'm in through.
2.3?
Are you on
Do
year
I,
3
do,
right
I,
now?
do I feel like I'm in year 2? I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a little bit, maybe every 6 years now. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm a very performance-driven guy, right? It's like you have to perform at a high level. Let's go.
That's what I did
And,
my whole life. Sports
yeah.
and
No, that's what I'm
baseball
saying.
and the whole
That was
thing.
my
It was
whole
all
life.
competitive.
If I didn't
It was-
perform, I lost, right? And so like
So
that-
this
that
is
was very-
interesting because it's like, is the performance for the goal of receiving something that was already won for you on the cross? That's idolatry. But if the performance is to give glory to the one who who gave it to you. So if I am working to receive God's affirmation and his love over my life, it's idolatry, because I've made myself the object of praise, because my performance then merits God's love, right? But if my performance is birthed out of the fact that I am already loved, am already, he's already satisfied in me, well, then I am not trying to attain anything other than a reflection of what I already have.
But that's a very difficult thing to process in your head. I agree with you 100%, right? But that's like, if we could put that on a soundtrack and I listen to that every morning, I would probably need to do that, right? but I'm just saying, like, that is true. 100% awesome and true. And it doesn't take long, because the world that we live in will suck you up real fast, right? And it's very easy to get caught up in that. It's very easy to get.
So Paul, or whoever the author of Hebrews was, right? He said in Hebrews 10:24, he said, "And do not cease to meet together, and encourage one another in these things."
Yeah. And this is brotherhood, right?
Right.
You need that, because there's going to be seasons where Daniel gets caught up in that.
Yeah.
And, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Caleb gets caught up in that.
Amen.
Many coals,
what are you doing?
many coals burning together burn brightly. But
Absolutely.
when one falls off and rolls away,
Yes.
it burns out really quick.
Yes, it sure does.
If
So-
one man falls down, he's in trouble. But if there's two there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, with much counsel, there's wisdom.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, it's
By
everywhere.
many advisors, a war is won,
That's
right?
It's everywhere.
All these proverbs that we're all quoting and saying, it's all about finding a brotherhood. And I think one of the reasons, kind of circling back to the combine itself, is, and what you said, it becomes a litmus test of, I know I need community, and I know I need that 2 a.m. brother who's going to call, no matter, like, I can call no matter what, he's there, not asking questions. But how do I get that? Like, I can listen to a podcast, and I can watch a Jocko Willink talk about, his time in the SEALs. It's like, my time in SEALs teams, like, opportunity for that and finding that brotherhood, that's long past. Like, I'm too old in my career or whatever. Like how do I find that? And unfortunately, like, this is not just for the average Joe. We've seen this recently. What happens when professional ministers pretend to have community and they live a life with sin reigning and ruining marriage and ruining their relationship with the Lord until the whole thing comes to the surface and it's exposed.
And then it brings a lot of doubt to all these people that put a lot of trust in them, and then it starts shattering those, false. They put this person on a pedestal, and all the people that affects. And I knew all those Christians were like that. I knew it was all fake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the litmus test we're talking about, right? If we had to put at least some of it to words, what we're saying is this. Number one, if you're coming to the Caveman Combine, you recognize that there is a need for that physical activity in your life. You have a need, right?
Yep.
Number two, if you make it through it, you're willing to suffer alongside a brother.
Yes.
And you get that, right?
Yep.
So that's why it's my litmus test, right? Number one, I want to be around men that understand they need to grow.
Yep.
And they're willing to submit their bodies to things that are uncomfortable. And then they're willing to sacrifice in that uncomfortableness to make it
Very uncomfortable.
some more than others to make it through, because they will not let their brother down. You know why I know Steve would come get me off the road in the middle of New York City at 2 a.m. if I caught him? Because he made it through the Caveman Combine 4 times. And I don't say that flippantly. I mean that.
Yeah.
Right? I know I could call Steve or Daniel or some of these guys because they get the concept of suffering through uncomfortableness to serve your brother.
Yeah.
They get it, and that's why it's a litmus test. If you don't understand that concept, me and you are not going to be good friends. We're just not. Like, in the end.
Please break down in Iowa, not New York City. That'd be way better.
It's way better.
Steve would hesitate with New York
I
City.
will go.
Obviously.
I will go. But man, I don't want
I
to.
will not
like
be
it.
happy about it.
Oh man.
Oh, that's good
That's
stuff.
fun.
That's good.
All right, Steve. When I think about, you, one of the things that I love is how theologically grounded you are. We can be, so case in point, we're building out the Shiloh. It's like this Hobbit hole thing. And Steve's like, hey, I don't have anything going on. I'm going to go help out Daniel build out his little Hobbit hole thing.
For 7 days.
Yes.
Daniel never needs help though, because he's never in crunch time at the end of his builds. It's
Yeah,
always
no.
plenty of time, no
yeah.
procrastination.
Right.
Take a picture of just the house, but don't show that there's dirt. The grass isn't in yet. Just frame that
Yeah,
out.
just, can we crop that out? Can we edit that?
Like in the dictionary, if it says hair on fire, Daniel's builds.
Yes. Yeah.
But somehow they all get done.
They do. They do. And what would amaze me is just the counsel that you would give to some of the guys, because we would always.
I don't even remember giving any counsel.
Oh, you would, man. Like some of the guys would come up and they, these are construction workers, and we're just praying up beforehand, and some guy will say something that's just theologically not right at all, but most guys would be like, well, kudos for you, you're trying, and Steve would be like, actually the Bible says, and then
Actually, your efforts are in vain.
drop like 12 verses, and I was like, dude, this guy's theology is on point.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
2 a.m., everybody's cranky. Blessed are those who serve your brother.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I enjoyed the build though.
Yeah, that was fun.
I had the time to be out there, and I got to, see it in its skeletal form, and then got to go stay in it when it was all done.
Yeah.
I think there's something too about that we miss in our economy, where people used to, like the Amish still get, right? Where men used to get out and sweat together in laborious work, and there's this growth that happens among men when you do that together.
Oh, for sure.
And we miss
Yep.
that. We don't have that anymore, right? And that's part of the brotherhood that we lack, is we don't just come together and sweat.
Well,
The other day when we were working at the paper turf site,
Yeah, yeah.
right? It was like we're goofing off, we're laughing, we're working. It's hot as
Oh, Hades.
Hades.
Yeah. Your face and my face are still burned from that.
yeah. But we're goofing off, we're having a good time. The brotherhood's going. Me and Daniel are making jokes, Garrett, and you're like, this is what brotherhood is.
Was G there too?
Right?
Yeah,
G was there.
yeah,
too,
G was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That,
G wasn't joking as much, but G was there.
mainly
It was like,
because
what are you
his
guys
name was on
smiling
the
about?
line.
That's right.
No. Okay. If we were going to wrap this up, would you have anything that you would want the rest of the caveman community to, any counsel from the OG, Mr. Rutledge?
OG.
Where's your trophy? You didn't even bring it?
We're moving. It's packed.
Okay.
And we've got so much stuff packed that we got moved over there, and as we moved there, like 9 family members came to have 4th
Which
of
is
July
like the
there.
perfect
My
timing.
son was there. Both her sons and their wives were there. Her sister, her dad, her mom.
love it.
And so staying there.
Wow.
We don't have any furniture. I'm building beds for people to stay in. They arrive the next day. We have no couches because the couch didn't show up. We're building dining room chairs and couches. I got Allen wrenches all over the place from, you open these we're trying to, so they have a place to sit, right? And stay. And there's unpacked box. We go into our portion of the house, the room and stuff. Everything's just piled in boxes, and we got people staying over. So it's in a box.
Yeah.
I'll cherish it forever, but yeah.
I love it.
I feel like we need a retirement wall. You have to compete in the caveman at minimum 3 or 4 years, and then when you don't, you retire. There needs to be, you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
For you to go up, you have to at least compete 4 times. And then when you retire, you can retire. If you didn't compete 4 times, you don't get a chance to retire.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
it needs
got
to
it.
be,
I see
there
what
needs to
you're
be a
saying.
list of,
Yeah.
you have to compete at least
So-
as many times.
So I've already made
You'll
it.
be the first retiree. That's what I'm saying. You'll be number 1 on
Yeah.
the list.
Yeah. That's funny.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. We have a pension.
Whoa, we got to make money before we start doing pensions.
Get paid out for all all your banged up.
All your
He
bruises.
is not head over finances. I am. He spoke too soon.
That's funny.
So back to your point, you were saying
Yeah.
something about.
What's the counsel that the oldest caveman would throw back to
Well,
the
see,
younger
right there, as
generation?
soon as you say the oldest, for all those young people that are like, this is really hard, or the guys that left after
Yeah.
the first day, just turned tail and they were gone,
Yeah.
Wimps.
You can do it if a 56-year-old can come in the first time and do it, then, or what was it? I don't remember, 54,
Yeah.
something, and be the oldest guy there. Well, anybody can do it pretty much.
Yeah.
And for me, I just was geared my whole life in sports and playing baseball and stuff. You finish.
Yeah.
You don't just walk away. You finish. So you're coming to something and some of these people may not know how grueling it is. You do a pretty good job of explaining. This is going to be rough.
Yeah.
But to do it and to finish it and then to turn around and come back and do it again after you know what it's like.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is coming from a person who played sports his whole life and had a dad that was like, you ain't quitting. You ain't going to quit.
Yeah.
I was scared in Pop
Yeah.
Warner football my first year. I didn't want to keep going. He goes,
And
yeah, you're
and-
going to though. And then I'm catching touchdowns in high school and I look back and I go, I'm glad I didn't quit.
Yeah.
Dad
Yeah,
was
amen to
strong
that.
enough to
Yes.
say, I don't care how you feel. I know you're scared.
Yes.
You finish it and then you'll see the results of it later.
Yes.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
take
see
an
it today.
I'm gonna
Yes.
take an AM moment right there for all dads out there that allow their children to quit. Listen to that testimony, right? Because that is a testimony. My dad was the same way.
And kudos to all the dads out
Yeah,
there that
man.
don't let your sons quit.
Amen. My dad was the same way. He's like, bro, buddy, you started. You're gonna finish. You want to play next year, but you will not quit this year.
Yeah.
Right? If you start quitting at a young age, you'll never stop quitting.
Yes.
You'll always find an excuse.
I
Yes.
bet you if you find people in their marriage that have got divorced, I'm not saying it's probably all the time, but I bet you if you go back, they quit other things before they started quitting that. Right? And that's just a process, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
amen
So-
to that. I love that. I love
So
that
yeah,
story.
I was 80 pounds, and the minimum weight requirement back then in Sacramento Pop Warner football, you had to at least weigh 80 pounds.
Wow.
That was the bare bone, and I weighed 80, and I would be sucking water out of the water fountain before the weigh-in to make sure I had enough. And then our
funny.
fullback, he was at the maximum weight, which I think you couldn't be over 110 pounds or something, or 100. They starved him all week. He was so weak. They're holding him up on the scales so he could get weighed in. And then they ran him to the snack bar and put 2 cheeseburgers in him because he'd been starving. And I'm little, and I'm scared. And you don't want to get hit and run over. But my dad said, nope, you will finish.
Yeah.
And then I voluntarily played every year again after that until I graduated. I played all through high school and graduated senior play.
Only in California. See, here in the South, we had 16-year-olds playing Pop Warner.
16?
They were 16. They were 16. They're like, man, that guy's a big kid. Oh, he's 5 years older than us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got kids.
That's right. Amen. That's
Yeah, but so combine,
don't
so
quit.
caveman. It is really grueling. It is really tough, but you can do it.
Yeah.
And then when you do it, and you went, wait, I made it through that. I can do a lot of things. And you could even go to the gym the next day.
Yeah. Which you did. Which you did.
I purposely made that video just to any young guys that were at home icing
I
stuff,
purposely
and they
put it
probably
up
took
on YouTube
and probably
the next day.
probably called in sick to work because they
Yeah.
couldn't walk.
Yeah.
I went, hey, well, I'm at the gym right now, and I
Yeah.
did a regular workout. One of the combines, I went to a NASCAR race very soon after the combine was over, and of course, the seats were where you had to walk up a whole bunch of steps. And the whole time I'm like, what am I doing? This hurts so bad.
Funny.
But yeah.
I
But yeah.
I think when you sent that video to the text chat, within 5 minutes it was on YouTube. It was just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
at the gym on Monday. The combine ended on Sunday. Yeah. So it would just be and that'll help you in a whole lot of other things. Don't quit, finish,
Yeah.
and good things will come of it.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
And it felt good too. It's a hurt so good moment, the
Well, dude,
combine.
we love you, and you are truly, I consider you a friend, and I know we are-
Inspiration.
yeah, we're so happy to say you are a tribesman.
And I'm glad
I'm privileged to be able to say that.
all right. I've been elevated. I've been shot to the next level. Tribesman.
I mean, literally, no one has done as many combines as you. leading
And
the
Lord,
pack.
Lord willing, I'll get 2 more in,
Yeah.
and then I got nothing to prove after that.
That's he's actually
Love calling you a
he's,
brother, man.
Same
he's
with you guys.
holding off on his return until you finish.
Am I prolonging the
You're
second coming?
prolonging the second coming
Oh
of
my
Jesus.
God.
What's interesting is you don't know how much Daniel actually believes that.
It's true. It's very true.
That's a whole other conversation.
I am looking forward to it and dreading it all at the
All
same
at the
exact
same
time.
time.
It's just like this with it because I
Oh,
know
yeah.
I know how I'm gonna feel,
Yeah.
especially halfway through that run when I'm just like, could this just be over? Oh my gosh, could there be a sniper up in the woods? Just take me out now like a deer. I'm gonna wear a deer outfit and somebody just shoot me out there. But no, it does feel great when you go across the finish line. It's like I guess it's like a woman having a baby, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so painful. It's like, how could you do this to me? I
Yeah.
hate you, you know. And then to put the baby in her arms, she's like, oh, let's have another one.
Yeah.
You
So-
know that if any woman listened to this conversation to this point, we are going to fill up the comment section. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't know what it's like to have that baby. Don't get married to that.
Hold on. He
Don't
didn't
write
even
in.
tell her-
Don't write in. I'm just making conversation and making a small analogy.
Let's
Just
be
a small
serious.
one.
Only men have made it this far.
Technically, he didn't even give his pronouns. So
He did not.
Oh yeah, Ford trucks and Dr Pepper.
Ford trucks and Dr. Pepper.
Those are my pronouns. Actually, those are just nouns. But you know, hey, I'm not a biologist.
Not a biologist.
That is the best joke ever.
It got a lot of traction.
Yeah.
People I don't even know and never met came up to me and said, "Are you the guy that they
Oh,
did
yeah.
that and the tiki torch oil?"
Yeah.
And you did that pre like this whole movement. That's
It was right in that. It was right in that. That was the
Very first one.
combine.
First combine.
That the pronoun thing.
Yeah.
I did because it was
Carson.
just on its. You know, it was starting to hit the
God,
culture.
Who knew where it was headed?
Where it
Lord
was going.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, I had
Steve.
fun at my first podcast and everything. I hope I did all right. I don't know.
We-
I'll
we're
ask
gonna-
Philip
You
when
did
I'm
We're
done
gonna
how I
have you
did.
back.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you back.
All
We
right.
gotta have you back.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
May have to get Michelle in here. Do
Oh
the
man,
whole
yeah.
story.
Yeah. We have to do one when I do my last combine.
Oh yeah. Yeah. for
No,
sure.
we're gonna have you back
Before
that.
then? All right.
Yeah,
all
for
right.
sure.
I don't know how much I have to
That's
offer, but I'll
2
try
years.
to. That's 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 11, depending upon if you stick with my scenario.
At 70 years old.
70 years old.
Yeah.
Steve is.
Yeah. I got my motorized wheelchair. I'll just bring my tractor out. I'll just ride my tractor
Yeah.
around
Oh,
the
perfect.
field.
Through the
Yeah.
combine.
Yeah.
I'm clearing the trace. Get out of the way.
Yeah. I'll do it.
And
That's
on the
good
tractor
stuff.
note, we're going to end it. Guys, we'll see you on the next podcast. If you haven't watched Tyler's video that he made of the Caveman Combine 2025, you need to go check it out. We'll put a link attached to it. And it's a good time. Glad y'all stuck around, listened to the whole thing. And we'll see you guys next time.
Amen.
All right. Thanks.
See you guys.
Good stuff, man.
Is the video done?
Yeah.
The
it
video?
is.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No.